my name is Pasha, and I moved to the United States from Ukraine. I was born in Kiev, Ukraine, and moved to the United States in 2008. Well, when I was a teenager, I had no idea, I had no plans to be working in the construction industry. I was a professional soccer player who spent many years of my life to play soccer. I played in different countries, Germany, Switzerland, and Ukraine. But in 2008, I ended up moving to the United States. I just shared half an hour ago with my colleagues that I moved on September 15th, 2008, and next week the stock market crashed. So it wasn't because of me, but that was that moment in the United States history where millions of Americans lost their jobs and people lost their homes. And I was basically looking for a new job because I quickly realized that in order for me to provide for my family, I will need a career change because soccer was not very popular in the United States back then, and it was a very difficult moment in my life back then. Luckily, one of my friends was a tile installer at one of the commercial companies in Portland, Oregon, and he recommended me as a entry-level tile apprentice to his boss, and I was hired in May 2009 as an entry-level tile assistant.
Residential? Commercial?
Commercial. Okay. Having almost zero English skills. One of the first jobs we did, I was asked by one of the installers to go outside and find a water hose. He needed a water hose. And I wasn't sure about the correct pronunciation of that word, so I went outside and I asked the concrete guys who were working next to the building, "Hey guys, do you know where I could find the water horse?" And they looked at me and they said, "What?" And I said, "I need a water horse." And they said, "No, we don't know." So I walked around the building and I came back and I said, "I can't find the water horse." And then he was very politically correct, so he didn't start laughing, but I had a feeling that I said something funny. So first thing I did when I came back home, I checked my vocabulary, and we still laugh with my former colleagues about that situation. So it was very humiliating for me. I had absolutely zero construction skills, and it was a very hard time in my life. So I was not looked at, before people, I was used to be promoted and treated like a professional. I was treated like a helper. People would tell me, "Go there, take this," and it was a very hard job.
So were you working on your English at the time and
absolutely, I was
doing things on the side to kind of learn more?
I was learning English at work. I was learning English after school, after work at ESL, English as a second language classes. But over time, I realized that I basically started loving the tiling trade. I became very passionate about setting the tile. And after working for 6.5 years for 2 different companies, I decided to start my own business in 2016. It was early 2016 because I had that passion. And being a former soccer player, I had that professional mindset that I need to learn. I need to do my job as good as I can. I wasn't satisfied with the skills and knowledge that I had back then, and in my search for standards and best techniques, I found out information about the National Tile Contractors Association in 2017, and that was literally, absolutely changing point in my tiling career because I was able to meet like-minded professionals who are committed to following industry standards. I actually learned about industry standards because in the companies where I worked before,
they didn't even talk about it.
They didn't talk about it. Yeah. I wasn't aware of TCNA handbook, ANSI standards, etc., etc. So it was so exciting for me to see that there are standards and methods and resources and continuing education opportunities. So After I joined NTCA, I became a certified tile installer through the Ceramic Tile Education Foundation by completing the CTI test. And after working, a few years after becoming an NTCA member, I also learned about gauged porcelain panels through the classes that were hosted in our area by tile setting materials manufacturers. And I want to point out that tiling is not just, doing something that looks good. Professional tiling is truly an art and a science. And many people admire tiling work. They look at the aesthetics and, endless design opportunities without realizing that true beauty of the tile is determined by the preparation work, by the stability of the substrate that the tile is installed over.
Amen.
And, well, if you agree, you could say amen.